Most expensive home problems do not begin with a dramatic failure. They begin with one small sign that is easy to ignore: a dryer vent that stops opening, a toilet you can barely hear, a hose with a small bulge, or a strip of caulk pulling away from the wall. I'm Walt Kessler. Here are 9 small maintenance checks worth doing before a simple warning becomes a larger repair. For each one, I'll show you what to look for, the safe homeowner action, and the point where you should stop and call the right professional. We are staying on the safe side of the line. No wiring, no gas work, no roof walking, and no opening service-only panels. Number 1 is the clothes dryer. Most people clean the lint screen when they remember. The U.S. Fire Administration says to clean it before and after every cycle. But the screen is only the beginning of the air path. With the machine off, look behind it without disconnecting anything. The vent should not be crushed, torn, or sharply restricted. Then, from the ground outside, watch the exhaust flap while the dryer runs. It should open, and the outlet should be clear of snow and debris. The proof is not that the dryer feels warm. The proof is that air can travel from the machine to the outside termination. If the duct disappears into a wall, stays restricted, requires appliance disassembly, or involves a gas connection, stop there. That is professional dryer vent or appliance work. Smoke, flame, scorching, or a burning smell is an emergency, not a cleaning project. Number 2 is a silent toilet leak. A toilet does not have to hiss or run constantly to lose water from the tank into the bowl. EPA WaterSense recommends a simple dye test at least once a year. Add a couple of drops of food coloring or a toilet dye tablet to the tank. Wait 10 minutes without flushing, then look in the bowl. If color appears in the bowl, water is passing through when it should not be. A worn flapper is a common candidate, but it is not the only possible cause. Flush after the test so the dye does not stain. If a correctly matched flapper does not stop the leak, if the shutoff or toilet leaks externally, if the toilet is loose, or if you see water damage, call a plumber. Do not keep buying parts until one happens to fit. Number 3 protects people, not property. Smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Test both with their built-in test buttons once a month. U.S. Fire Administration guidance says smoke alarms should be replaced 10 years from the manufacture date. Carbon monoxide alarms are different. Replace those according to the manufacturer's instructions for that exact alarm. Do not assume every battery follows the same schedule. Conventional 9-volt smoke alarm batteries should be replaced at least yearly, while sealed and other designs follow their own instructions. And the test button is not an invitation to test with a candle, exhaust, or real smoke. Use the function built into the alarm. A real alarm is not a maintenance prompt. If a smoke alarm sounds, get outside and call emergency services. If a carbon monoxide alarm sounds, move everyone to fresh air, account for every occupant, and call for help from there. Hardwired replacement or interconnection trouble belongs with a qualified electrician or alarm professional. Number 4 is the central heating and cooling filter. Energy Star says to inspect, clean, or change the filter once a month. That does not mean every filter automatically goes in the trash every 30 days. It means you inspect it monthly and follow the filter and equipment instructions for cleaning or replacement. Turn the equipment off. Confirm the required size and approved filter type. If the filter has an airflow arrow, it points toward the blower. A filter that is visibly loaded, damaged, collapsed, or pulled out of its rack needs attention. Energy Star warns that a dirty filter can increase energy use and damage equipment, but do not solve that by installing the highest rated filter you can buy. The system must be designed for the filter you use. If access requires opening an equipment panel, you cannot identify the filter specification, airflow stays weak, or you see moisture or suspect mold near the intake, stop and call the HVAC contractor. Number 5 is behind the washing machine. Water supply hoses usually fail out of sight, so the useful check is visual and deliberate. With the washer off, inspect every connection you can reach safely. Look for drips, dampness, corrosion, and mineral deposits around the couplings. Follow the hose itself and look for abrasion, cracks, blisters, bulges, sharp kinks, or a section pinched behind the machine. There is no honest universal replacement interval for every washer and hose. The exact washer manual controls the hose type, installation, and replacement guidance. Do not drag or tilt a heavy machine alone just to see behind it. If a valve is seized or leaking, the fixed plumbing is damaged, the leak is inside the machine, or standing water is near electricity. Shut the water off only if that can be done safely and bring in a plumber or appliance installer. That is 5. Dryer airflow, silent toilet leaks, alarms, the HVAC filter, and washer hoses. The next 4 include one electrical safety device that people often mistake for an ordinary outlet. Number 6 is the ground fault circuit interrupter, the receptacle with test and reset buttons often found near water. You can test its built-in function without removing the cover or touching any wiring. Press reset. Plug in a small nightlight and confirm it turns on. Press test. The light should go out. Press reset again and power should return. That sequence is the proof. Follow the test interval printed on the installed device or in its instructions. The reviewed safety procedure does not give one universal interval for every GFCI. If test does not cut power, reset does not restore it. Either button fails, or you see heat, discoloration, moisture, hear buzzing, or smell burning, stop. Do not remove the faceplate. Replacement, repeated trips, and wiring diagnosis belong with a qualified electrician. A passing button test proves that built-in test sequence worked. It does not certify all the wiring in the house. Number 7 is easier to diagnose during rain, gutters and downspouts. From the ground, look for overflow, water running down siding, sagging sections, detached downspouts, erosion and standing water near the foundation. The system is not doing its job if roof runoff is being delivered right beside the wall. For the basement moisture conditions it describes, University of Minnesota Extension recommends that downspout extensions discharge water at least 4 feet beyond the wall. That is guidance, not a universal building code statement. Clear visible blockages only where you can work safely. Do not walk the roof, lean sideways from a ladder, or work near power lines. Loose fascia, significant height, buried drain failure, persistent basement moisture, or structural cracking needs the right professional. And remember, clear gutters reduce one water pathway. They do not prevent every flood or basement leak. Number 8 is failed caulk around a tub, shower, or other wet area. A cracked or separated bead is not just an ugly line. It is a cue to check whether water has reached the material behind it. EPA's rule is straightforward. Fix the water problem, clean the mold, and dry the surface before caulking. Do not lay a fresh bead over mold, wet backing, or deteriorated material and call it repaired. For a small superficial joint with solid surrounding material, remove the failed caulk, clean and dry the joint completely, and use a sealant specifically labeled for that surface and wet area use. Follow its directions for ventilation, preparation, and cure time. If the material is soft, swollen, loose, or persistently wet, the leak is hidden, mold returns, contaminated water is involved, or the affected area is substantial, stop. Caulk cannot repair what is happening behind the wall. Number 9 is a correction to one of the most repeated maintenance tips online. Vacuum your refrigerator coils every 6 months. That is not universal advice. Refrigerator designs differ. Some have owner-accessible condensers, some place them behind a cover, and some use cabinet designs where the old instruction does not apply. Find the model number and use the exact owner manual. Keep only the clearances and ventilation openings that manual identifies unobstructed. Clean a grill or condenser area only when the manual tells the owner how to do it. The safer universal check is temperature. Use an appliance thermometer and verify that the refrigerator holds 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below. If it cannot maintain a safe temperature after simple manual-approved checks, if access requires a service-only panel, or you see damaged wiring, oily residue, or damaged tubing, stop and arrange service. Do not assume every warm refrigerator just needs a vacuum. Those are 9 jobs, but the operating rule is 1 sentence. Inspect early, verify the result, and stop when the repair crosses into wiring, gas, height, contamination, or hidden damage. The best maintenance is usually boring. That is the point. A 5-minute check is much better than discovering the same problem after the floor, wall, or machine has joined the argument. I'm Walt Kessler. Fix it before you replace it, and know when not to fix it yourself.